I've been playing Dead by Daylight for 6 years now, and I've seen many chapter wish lists over the years. And one thing I've noticed is that they're all terrible, and they all only recommend like 2 video games in any of these lists. So I'm here to change that with my own Dead by Daylight wish list. FisherMman's Dead by Daylight wish list. The first wish on my list has to go to Dying Light. I think Kyle Crane as the survivor would be awesome. He'd have a lot of exhaustion perks that play into the parkour aspect of Dying Light. Maybe a perk that lets you vault a window one more time before the entity blocks it. Or maybe you can vault through Bamboozle. The killer would be a volatile from the game. I think they could do a lot with that kind of killer. If they want to go ranged, they could do sort of like Plague. Since it's a zombie, it can maybe infect the survivors, since we need more killers like that. Or maybe it's a super speedy killer like Blight and Billy to reflect the chases that you get into in the actual games. There could be counterplay like chests spawning on the map that let you pick up UV flashlights that can either stun the killer or drain charges of his power. I think a Dying Light chapter would be really cool, and I'm hyped about the Beast game coming out because Dying Light 2 was bad and we need a win. My second wish and the second zombie game would be another Left 4 Dead chapter, or at the very least legendary skins for build that would let me play as the other survivors. I want to be Ellis. I want voice lines of Ellis talking about his buddy Keith while you're repairing a generator with Leon Kennedy and Rick Grimes. Behavior could easily add a killer that's one of the special infected. Smoker, Hunter, and Charger are what immediately come to mind. I think they'd kind of function how they do in Left 4 Dead, though maybe minus insta-downs like the Hunter and Charger do, because we don't need any more insta-down killers. Rounding out the zombie suggestions for this wish list, I have to go with Plants vs. Zombies. Now I know. The Dead by Daylight community doesn't want goofy and silly stuff in their game because they're very anti-fun and play Sable Ward. But Five Nights at Freddy's is in the game and Bendy is rumored to come, so everything's fair game at this point. I could see this chapter just being a cosmetic one, maybe a brown coat skin for Dwight, or a Crazy Dave skin for Dwight, or even a Dr. Zomboss skin for Dwight. However, if behavior wants to be awesome and cool, there is a spin-off series they could pull from. Imagine you load into a trial and you're wondering who the killer is. You're sitting there doing the generator when all of a sudden you hear, and then your generator blows up because a giant fireball just fucking hits you. I think that would be badass. I think Super Brains would be an amazing killer for a Plants vs. Zombies chapter. If they want to go a more serious route, they could make Chomper a killer and use his loadout from Garden Warfare. He could burrow underground as a movement ability, kind of getting rid of his terror radius in the process. He could set down Spikeweed to trap survivors, and he could even slow him down with his projectile spit, just like in Garden Warfare. I think if behavior went either of those routes with a Plants vs. Zombies chapter, I'd be fine with either. I would also like to see some horror adjacent chapters, ones that aren't necessarily horror but still fit, kind of like Tomb Raider and D&D. My wish would be Half-Life. It'd probably be a survivor only chapter with Gordon Freeman, with Alex and Dr. Eli as legendary skins probably. They might be able to do a killer, maybe the G-Man can teleport around, because I haven't seen a teleporting killer in Dead by Daylight yet. But if all they did was just a survivor-only chapter, or even cosmetics for Half-Life, I think that would kind of make sense. And last on my list for this video would be a Bloodborne chapter. I think they could do a Bloodborne chapter with a Hunter as the survivor, and they could give him the different outfits as his outfits. And I think they could do a killer with Father Gascoigne. Maybe he's just a vanilla projectile killer with his gun in human form, but you can have a transformation into his beast form, and maybe he gets a dash or some sort of leap, something making him faster, but he loses that ranged ability. I love Bloodborne. It's one of my favorite video games ever, and if Dead by Daylight just absolutely butchered it, I think that'd be great. Though I do think this is the most unlikely chapter, as PlayStation hasn't done anything with Bloodborne, and it still pisses me off. That was my wish list. That's the end of the video. If you liked it, leave a like and subscribe, to support the channel. Had a few more ideas, but I think I'll save them for another video. I've been Fisherman, and thank you for watching this video.